I was thinking about this when I was producing my video on how your passion shouldn't have to be your job, and I felt inspired to make a follow-up of sorts on that kind of topic. So, in this video for the Borealis Company, I want to give you 3 action steps that you can use now to help with gratitude listing. Gratitude lists are by and large one of the best techniques to tell your story in a positive way and to be positive throughout the day because it's such an accessible and easy exercise. Just make a list of things you're grateful for. That's it. Nothing more and certainly nothing less. But sometimes that can become mundane and it can feel like you're trying to hit a quota or you're obligated to do it to stay positive. That may not be the case for everybody, but if that is the case for you, I wanted to offer some ways to spice it up and make it genuine and impactful instead of mundane and autopilot. First step, let's change the way you tell your story by using different words that help you keep a positive charge. This is something I took inspiration from Brian Withers and his video slash exercise he does with his clients called the Amazing Game. But the idea behind this is you replace I'm grateful with something else that has a positive charge. Typically, when I say I'm grateful over and over again, I don't feel like I'm really processing what that means, even though my education in hypnotherapy would tell me it's becoming a subconscious program. That's still true, but I find that replacing it with something that feels new and novel makes me more aware of what it is that I'm actually thinking about. Here's an example I came up with when I was writing this script. I'm grateful for gasoline. I mean, I am, but that kind of came and went. You know what I mean? Instead, I'd like to say, isn't it amazing that there's a liquid I can fill a car up and it'll take me anywhere in town without having to walk? See the difference? And it doesn't have to be, isn't it amazing? It's what Brian Withers uses, and I want to give him proper credit because I have seen a lot of great impact on this for me. But I believe that equal results can come from things that get the same result for you. So it could be, I can't believe I live so close to a gas station, or it's wonderful that I always have access to gas. This action is all about making yourself aware of what you unconsciously know to make the story you tell about your life and yourself more meaningful. Second, as kind of a seamless transition, we're going to go from changing the way you tell your story to justifying this new way you tell your story. And it's kind of a more observed version of what we were doing in the first step, and that is asking why. Why are you grateful for the thing you said you're grateful for? Because you could say you're grateful for anything, but whether or not you were truly aware, you chose that thing. I found that explaining why I'm grateful about something peels back the layers that I didn't know were there about that thing, and it also opens up avenues for more things that I'm grateful for. Check this out. I'm grateful for gasoline suddenly becomes, isn't it amazing that there's a liquid I can fill a car up with and it'll take me anywhere in town without having to walk? Because of this, I'm able to visit my family without having to save up for a plane ticket and make my visits more uncommon. And it expanded my job search when I was unemployed because more opportunities became geographically available. It adds logic to something that you can normally take for granted, even if it appears on a gratitude list. Okay, we've talked about changing the way you tell your story, and we've talked about justifying that story. Now, let's talk about how to ingrain this story. It's one thing to do one session, it's another thing to do one session over and over and over again, ideally daily. But what if you don't have the time to sit down and write a gratitude list like it's a love letter? Cue the micro routine. This is an idea I got when I really got into strength training and trying to get into the 1,000-pound club. The idea of getting stronger every time isn't to do complicated math to figure out how much you need to pull or squat or bench. The idea is to take the smallest available weight plate in the gym, typically 2.5 to 5 pounds or 1.1 to 2.2 kilograms. There's also what we call pineapple slices, which are, I think, 1.25 pounds. But anyways, and you add that every time you lift. And before you know it, you're lifting more than you ever thought you could. Same idea with gratitude lists. The idea is not to force yourself to be positive if that doesn't feel right. The idea is to become Pavlovian in a positive way, where you could set a reminder for yourself to just think about one thing you're grateful for while using the other 2 action steps, and it relieves the pressure of feeling committed to a major session. And by the time it becomes familiar, you can add on a longer session, or you could think of 2 things you're grateful for or 3 things you're grateful for. And before you know it, gratitude lists have become a common practice in your positive life story. Thanks for watching, everybody. So to wrap up, the 3 action steps are: change the wording of your gratitude lists, ask yourself why you're grateful, and create micro routines to relieve the pressure of having to commit to a whole session. If you like this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more things storytelling. And I want to know, what has worked for you in the past on staying grateful or your own practices in gratitude? By listing it, you could help others discover new and more effective ways to tell a better story, and as a result, build a more positive and grateful community.